Welcome to Township July Board meeting. Everybody's here except Warren with an excused absence tonight. Can we have, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes as presented by the clerk?
Not yet.
I just made two corrections. The Troy Pack dues are paid by the individual board members, not the board at large.
Okay.
And what else did I find?
About the bank.
Oh, the bank. We're no longer doing business with the United Bank of Crete. They got bought out by Plank, old Plank, and we paid them off. As a matter of fact, we don't have any outstanding with any banks at all anymore. We do have one lease agreement, two lease agreements. No outstanding loans, right?
Then we'll approve the budget.
Yeah, we'll approve the budget too. We'll approve the minutes of the June meeting first, and then as Glenn has pointed out, we need to approve the minutes from the budget hearings as well. We're going to have to pick particular closely to the minutes. Not that Glenn hasn't been doing a good job of reporting, but somehow one of our main minutes got published, and I called Chris on it to find out where he got those minutes, because I checked with the clerk and Glenn said he didn't submit any minutes to anyone, and of course you cannot publish minutes that aren't approved or haven't been approved. So I don't know where Chris got that information.
It wasn't for that.
Yeah, but I saw another, thing of his, where did he get his info?
I don't know where we got that information. Some of the numbers were incorrect.
That's wild.
So I called Chris a couple of times, so. Anyway.
I don't know.
Motion to approve?
I'll vote to.
Jerry, second please. Andrea, all in favor? Thank you. Now we'll go to the budget hearing minutes. Short, sweet, and to the point.
Okay, I move that we.
Jerry, second please. Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, at this time we'll recognize any visitors or anyone for public commentary. Our good friend Leland Gates is with us today. We were anticipating, Bruce and I were anticipating maybe some people from the township might have some questions about the water issues in our township. There's a lot of water issues in all townships, everywhere, villages, town, you name it. But Leland was kind enough to come to be at the meeting tonight in case there were people coming in to ask questions. And we thank you, Leland, for being here.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Leland's very knowledgeable about tile structures, and although some of the people on Kennedy have been here for some time, they're not aware, I don't think, of what it used to be like when everybody put tiles in their fields, and the tiles was a network of water removal. And when we started building it and started putting up these subdivisions, unfortunately the tile fields were the ones that got destroyed, and they weren't really repaired the way they were supposed to. So now we have a situation, especially when a record storm like we've had in the last 2 months, the water levels are something to really deal with. So again, Leland, thank you for being here. I don't know if anybody's going to show up, but.
Can I just make a comment?
Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
Glenn had called me about this problem, about these Kennedy people, and Bruce and I have looked at it. There are no drainage district tiles in there. These people have created their own problems with their grading, and so it's their problem.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping some of the folks would be here so we could at least maybe help them with some ideas. I'm not an engineer, neither is Bruce. You're probably closer to an engineer.
I've been working on it for a long time.
And whether they need to put in swales, or they have a form of community
That's
group.
exactly what they need to do. They have blocked all the drainage because they don't put swales down between the lots like they should to drain it out where the natural drainage was. They have blocked the natural drainage.
Yeah.
With their construction and grading.
Mm-hmm. And Bruce pointed out also the tree lines where they were putting those tree lines were.
Right.
Not necessarily.
They need to they need to grade some swales into them and change their profile a little bit, you know. Yeah, there's a problem behind those lots, but there's other problems farther south with people that have cut tile off, you know, private tiles, homeowner tiles or farm field tiles. You know, one guy to the south of the pond, well, I know he cut tile. And the way it all works is one guy arouses one problem, another guy creates another problem. But they can't count on the township or the drainage district to fix their problems that they created.
I wasn't in the last couple of days, I did watch when the water went down in Glenn's field, the water in that ditch, the next day did drain out. So I'm not sure if there, I think we'll go out there and do a little exploring to see if we can find a tile in that ditch. But I believe there must be some kind of a feeder line that comes from the right-of-way line on an angle to the southwest that hooks into the 15-inch tile.
And he's talking about the 15-inch that I repaired in your
Oh, that you
field.
fixed, okay. Yeah. And do we know, does that have a clean outlet? I mean, where does that dump into, that 15-inch tile?
That goes way south.
Down by Acres.
Dumps into that creek?
Yeah,
Okay.
being Lewis.
And yes, that tile is open, that tile is
Okay.
working.
Mhm. Yeah, there could be, feeder line, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I mean, if there's one resident over there that, you know, that has brought the issue to me several times, and I agree with them. Up until this year and some of last year, that water would go down in 2 to 3 days. This time it lingered on for 3 weeks.
Well,
However, we had
it's
10
been
inches of
raining
rain
for
in
a month or more.
in a condensed time, so
Right.
to say there's a tile problem, I don't know. But I know there are some people over there that were real concerned about the water standing on their yard for a prolonged period of time, but
Mother Nature causes that.
yeah, but Leland and I both looked at it, and a little bit of self-improvement there by the property owners would take care of some of the quick surface water.
Yes.
So, I really anticipated 2 homeowners to be here this evening, and they're not. But, and what it really boils down to, I've been around here quite a few days, some of them longer. I mean, when is the last time there's been a large drainage tile put in? 50 years ago?
Put in, yeah,
Yeah.
just repairs, that's all.
It's just repairs now.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
that's right, and most of these primary outlets are all 50, 75 years old.
Well, for instance, I've got this 12-inch open up here on Egyptian Trail that I've had open for a month, and I can't get it drained down enough to finish putting it together because the surface water keeps coming into my hole,
Yeah.
and the tile's full.
But I invited Leland here, he does have a lot of the original tile maps, he's one of the few people around here that know where these things are at. So I thought if there was questions here from the residents, at least we had done some research, and I wasn't ignoring them, but I don't think it's up to us to take on their problem. So, that was the reason for, I was really surprised that we didn't have.
Yeah, well, especially if you put the swales in from north-south, you gotta get, then the other property owner has to get involved to say that it's okay, right? You just can't automatically put swales in,
No.
can you, Lee?
Well, no, the natural drainage went that way, and they blocked it when they graded their yard. So they could put it back to where the natural drainage went, but it depends on how long they've had it blocked, you know? You get into all kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but when they graded their yard, they sure left the natural drainage go that way.
We
Or,
learned
I mean, when you do when they build these subdivisions, there's naturally a swale between each house. Take the water to the curb to the storm sewer. Well, these people come out here and build these big lots, but they block the natural drainage. And they cut tiles off when they dig their basements and cause problems.
Like a lot of the backyards there are burned up, they try to keep the water from coming on their yard, and now they've got
Well,
it.
now they're holding it in.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Well,
All right.
thanks again.
Thank you, Leland, and I appreciate you taking time to perhaps at least have some educational presentation for the people that we weren't ignoring them, so.
Yep.
But maybe they're happy the water went down, their yards are totally black, but.
The Plan Commission hasn't had a chance to meet they had no reason to meet, really. Road Commissioner, have you got anything for us?
So, probably no action items. The only thing I am going to, for information on the board, I am entering into a municipal lease, trading our tractor in for a New Holland. They've got an excellent program on. I showed it to Warren one afternoon. There will be no monetary payment this fiscal year, so I don't have to have anything in the budget for this year. We will have 4 municipal lease payments after this, so that's kind of the way the thing is structured. They have a 30% discount off of the tractor price, and we're getting a good trade-in price for our old one, so what it boils down to, it's going to be approximately $30,000 trade-in for the new tractor over a 4-year payment with a 5th year of a dollar buyout, just like if you would happen to do a lease program at a car dealership. So I am going to enter into that.
Do you have the numbers? I can put the numbers of the tractors in here.
The model number is T515.
T515.
Yeah, and we're trading in the TD 5050.
T5050.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do have a meeting with the pipeline people tomorrow morning, Enbridge. I'm really surprised about the activity that they're creating. I wish they would open, cut all the roads instead of doing that boring. Boy, that big equipment they're bringing in to do the borings underneath the road is really starting to cause some damage. So I'm meeting with them people tomorrow morning. And I'm starting to get a few complaints from some of the residents. So. Other than that, I just got that map here, what we talked about. Brian's going to take care of that regarding the parking lot out here. And I believe that's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. Assessor's not here with us tonight. Clerk, have you got anything for us?
Yeah, I'll let Paul speak for himself, but we went over to the county board, their executive meeting. There was 6 of us. Virginia Gates headed this up with Erica Dot from the Sarah Club, and Farm Bureau, Paul, Roger Bettenhausen, and there was a gentleman from Wilmington was there. But we just presented our case against Ileana. So we're on record with our resolutions against it to get them aboard with us. And I think they will. I think they'll join board on this. So I'll let Paul elaborate a little more.
A little more? Well, basically I explained to him that this main industry in this township is farming. And with the Ileana cutting across, costs people a lot more money to farm because they've got to now get on the other side of it with all their equipment. That isn't free, increases their cost, decreases their way of making money, and really not a good thing at all for the township. And also for the township, it's going to cost us more to try to plow snow on the other side because we can't get to it directly. They may have an access road on the sides that we may have to maintain. I have no idea. But it messes up the whole thing for township residents.
Mm. Thank you for going to those meetings. I have a couple of things before I move along to the regular meeting. The Peatone Airport recovery, we got the 2 checks. One for the township received $23,1030. There, now just give it to you. And the road district received $51,8995. I guess we were successful in asking when who's that guy, that gal we had here?
Kate Flynn?
Kate Flynn. I guess we were successful, we never got any feedback from her, but I guess we were successful in extending, because this thing was supposed to end, this recovery was a 10-year program, and Debbie Halverson was here and that other representative. So we got a little bit back. Toy Pack, we've got our plaque, if you want to call it that. We got a nice thank you letter from WCCC, once again, for thanking us for taking a little extra, giving a little extra for helping with the people who are in need in this, our community, Will County. I did write a letter to Olajans with a copy to Bruce relative to their property, basically saying the grass in your property is uncut. Are you still in possession of the property? Do you intend to mow the grass? Please advise, because Illinois does prescribe that a township can cut properties. I don't want to necessarily get into that mess, because there's a lot of properties around Little Township that need to be cut. So, but the neighbors did make a complaint, and I have responded with a request from the Township Road District Chairman, Commissioner. So I sent the letter. I didn't send it certified mail, so I don't know if I'm going to get a response or not. I emailed twice, Lieutenant Governor, I haven't got her name in front of me, but to the scheduling person who scheduled her, and I've sent three emails asking her to please get together with the people of Eastern Will County to discuss issues of Eastern Will County, which includes the airport, the Annex, roadway, other issues. Will Township is dying. We're not moving, we're not doing anything. Can't sell homes, we're not building new homes, and we've been on, as everybody in this room knows, we're just sitting on a Bunsen burner and we're not getting hot. So I was hoping she would at least come by and sit down with Washington Township, Will Township, maybe even Peatone Township, and talk about the issues that we have in Eastern Will County. So I hope I'll be getting a response after the third time's a charm. Trustees, at this time, do you have anything to bring forward? Andrea? Paul? Jerry?
No.
We'll move on then to regular business. The only old business we have that I can recall is the future voting location for Will Township. Glenn and I had a conversation after the meeting that Glenn went to in Joliet. Since then, I have talked to Nancy, our Will County clerk, and they sent a letter to the Will County Fair Board Chairman, Ron Meyer, and wanted to proceed with putting Will County Fair as the local voting facility for not just us, but for Peatone Township as well. Joliet is faced with a mandate to reduce costs and also to reduce the number of machines they've got, the cost of voting, and accommodating better, making a facility more accommodating to handicapped people, which I'm very sensitive to. You all know that I have a handicapped brother, so I'm sensitive to handicapped issues. So anyway, she's motivated to do this, and I can understand her position. The Will County Fair Board discussed it last night, and although we're considering it, we have 3 years out where we have those dates scheduled already. The Shrove Dinner being one of them. Now, the Shrove Dinner's been coming there for years, so I don't think they should ask us to give up revenue in lieu of a voting date. So we tabled the discussion, and I called Nancy today and talked to her administrative aide, Judy, I think, and asked her to look into the other opportunities in Peatone, which would be the American Legion Post, the Public Library, and the Peatone Township offices. They're brand new. All three of them have good parking. The library just upgraded all their parking, and I checked with Mary, my wife, who also is a board member on the library district. They have adequate facility there for voting. The only problems we have is with the presidential. Other than that, we don't have much issues with parking or anything because the turnout is so low. So, with that being said, they're moving forward on that, and I don't have a problem with that. Now, it's nice where Andrea lives because we have a large number of voters in that area. Where Jerry lives, they're going to be a little upset because they got to travel all the way to Peatone, 6 miles. on a bad day, raining, whatever it might be. But there might be some issues, Jerry, that people might, if this thing comes to fruition. It hasn't been cast in stone yet. But I would assume, just from my conversations to this date, that probably there will be a facility in Peatone that will be handling the voting for Will Township. Because they want early voting, want early registrations, so it'll be a coordinated effort of 3 or 4 different precincts. I'm talking about Will Center, Wilton, and any surrounding townships who may have to yield to Joliet to put their voting precincts in one central location, and that would probably be Peatone.
You know, I like what you said. She brought up to the county board that they are going to merge 10 of them together. So there's no problem with her doing that. She mentioned it.
Oh,
But she didn't
yeah.
tell me the district, or not me, the county board as I was there, what districts are gonna go together. And they're gonna eliminate 3. Putting 10 together, eliminating 3.
Yeah. And I
So
can,
she knows how to do it.
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, that's the issue with regard to the future voting location. Any questions or discussion? I'm going to change this camera because I'm only good for half an hour. I might be speaking for maybe, I got 2 more hours left, and then we can go. Maybe an hour.
I'll have to buy a big van.
Gotta get appointments.
All for being transparent here, ladies and gentlemen. We want to let everybody out there know what Will Township is doing. Not like the presidential office in Washington, D.C. Your people that work here in Will Township are letting everybody know what's going on in government. Now, Bruce has done we talked a little bit more with the Heisner family. We also have, I talked to Larry Lorenz, who's going to try to give us an appraisal with the type of property we're trying to buy. I think even though we may lose the voting situation, we can still expand our properties. We still have meetings here. We still have a reason to expand and improve our property if that's possible to do. This is the property that we're looking at. Am I looking upside down? This is east. See where the parking spots are? That's out here. So if we look at it this way, maybe it'll make more sense. This is east. What we're looking at is buying this property here, and I think this goes all the way to the gate, the fence, Bruce?
No, right now, Brian, that's drawn to the north side of the old corn crib.
North side of the corn crib,
Yeah.
okay. So this is roughly what we're looking at. It's probably less than an acre at this point. But if we go to the fence and bring in the corn crib, which I think Jerry mentioned, didn't he say he'd
Yeah,
be willing to look at that?
Jerry and Helen both have mentioned they're open to that.
Yeah. So we might be getting the property all the way, this would be the boundary here, all the way to the fence. Then we pick up Bruce's stockyard there.
Oh, that might be a good thing.
Yeah. So we'd have parking, we'd have egress here, and here. Would you planning on this too, Bruce? Being exit and entrance?
That would be the exit.
Okay.
On the north end of the building.
Okay. It's a rough sketch, but it's something we can start with. And the parking lot itself was the 10,000 square feet, so we got quite a bit to go before we get to an acre. So maybe this is something that's negotiable and something more that we could digest within our budget. So we're working on this.
County got any problem? That we have a...
Pardon?
I don't believe there'd be any problem.
So anyway, we're moving forward with that. We have it in our contingency. We've got a $50,000 contingency. I would hope that we can work somehow within that number. Then we have to get with Bruce though and maybe transfer some funds from Township to the road district to accommodate him for the improvement of the parking lot, since it is Township property, although road district will be using it as well. So hopefully we can work together on that, which I'm sure we can.
Is that something we can just build ourselves with our equipment?
I would think so.
Yeah.
We're not infringing on any other
Yeah.
except the property. I'm sure we'd probably have to get some kind of permits from Joliet. But anyway, that's what we're working on.
Okay.
Has everybody had a chance to, I don't have any correspondence or action items other than what I've already discussed with you. Has everybody had a chance to review the bills as presented? Andrew, did you get the, I don't see your
Yeah,
signature
it's
on it.
over here,
All right, Andrea, I'll pass them over.
yeah. Thank
Well, Andrea's looking at the bills. The accounts are in good shape. We're starting to get our real estate. We have got 4 installments to date. So we're looking really good as far as being in the black and making our commitments. Unlike Springfield, hello Springfield. The next meeting of the Will Township Board will be Tuesday, August the 4th. My gosh, we're looking at August. 6 months are down the road already. So we'll have open discussion until Andrew's ready to sign off on the bills.
So when we make our new parking lot, will that be gravel, I assume?
To start with, I think, right, Bruce?
Yeah,
We're not gonna do anything beyond that.
we should be able to do hard surfaces.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be really nice.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna require us to put a ramp now, also for handicap accessibility.
Okay, yeah.
And we're gonna have to turn that door, maybe put a little small building over that doorway like we did out here. Because I imagine people will be driving in that way and coming to the building from the east side instead of from the west side.
Is that door wheelchair accessible?
It'll
Oh,
have
yeah,
to-
it's wide enough.
It's wide enough, but it's
Yeah.
wide enough, but we have to put a ramp there,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
right.
From the paved end,
Right.
which is something we'd want to do anyway if we did improve it.
Yeah.
Okay, if everybody's had a chance to review the bills, I'll accept a motion for approval. Andrea, all in second, please. Jerry, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, before we adjourn, which we're coming to pretty quickly, is there anything anybody has to say before we go? For the good of the township? Lee, again, thank you for being here.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Paul, second. Andrea, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming tonight. Oh, by the way, did you know that we have the Will County Farm Bureau president sitting in this room?
Wow. Yeah, wow, that's right.
I found this out last night. Glenn's been the president of the Will County Fair Board since February. And actually, I heard it incorrectly because somebody said the IFB. And I said, holy cow.
I'm with the Illinois Farm.
I know you are, but I thought the conversation said he's president of the IFB.
No,
Holy
no.
cow. I'm sitting next to this guy.
Congratulations.
He goes to our church.
That's right.
He drives a Buick. I mean, this guy's really something. No, really, I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.